Hey, what's good, everyone? Welcome back to the next block. We are on episode 121, and everything is going good. How are you, Crypto for Change?
Doing good, doing good. Excited to welcome Frugal BC to the
Uh,
show and chop it up. We've never had him on the show, so it should be a fun one. Drop anything in the comments, anything you guys want to talk about, you want to hear us talk about, and we will
mhm.
for sure jump to it. We have a lot to talk about, obviously, with
Yes.
everything going on in the space. So this will be a fun show.
And make sure y'all hit that like button, retweet. We stream it to YouTube and Twitter right now. So let's get it going. Frugal BC, welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, hey.
Hey, I'm good. How about yourself?
Yeah, well, Algorand's price could be doing a little better, but otherwise, I'm good, man.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that price right there. So
I
let's
wanted to
start
come
off.
in hot. I wanted to come in hot.
Oh yeah. Oh, they love it. So let's start off Crypto for Change. If you got some charts you want to pull up before we hit coin market cap, and then we're gonna get to that algo price.
For sure, for sure. Let me share here real quick. Window. No. Let me pull it up. So I'm down to one monitor, and it just messes with me so much now. My son broke my last one.
Oh no.
Yeah, it broke my monitor, so I am down to one. Anyways, can you guys see it now?
Yep.
Mhm.
All right, so here's one thing that I've obviously been watching because I am deep in alts, like I'm sure most people who are watching this are. I mean, obviously everybody likes Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the big dogs, but let's be honest, we're trying to make the money off the alts. So what I've been watching here is, possibly this massive cup and handle, play out over the past few months. And obviously we had that nice run up back in early March of this year. We've been, trading down into hopefully the handle part of this cup and handle, and now we're starting to maybe see a breakout of this 6-month downtrend. Same thing Bitcoin's kind of seeing if you go and look at it, but those are just some of the targets that I have in the short term, and that's just measured moves from right here. Fix that. I feel like it's not even, but
I'm sorry, what
pretty much
coin is
from
it?
right here. This is just the total 3. I'm pretty sure crypto
Oh,
cap
gotcha.
total
Okay.
3, or is this
Gotcha.
total 2? Wait, this is total 3. So this is excluding Bitcoin, Ethereum, and stables.
Gotcha.
And then one of the and also right here you'll see we almost have a bullish cross. Now the last time we kind of saw this retest of a bullish cross was right here, which is when the alt season kind of ran up. It had a 3 months, obviously not as long, but a 3-month kind of bear market before it pushed back up to all-time high. So that's what I'm seeing from a standpoint of alts. There could be an alt season happening in this winter to spring of 2025, and obviously we could see that play out. Now if you're looking at Bitcoin dominance, I think that's also important to look at when you're taking a look at these things. And obviously Bitcoin dominance has just been in this channel for forever, really. I mean, look at this. Even on the, you look at the stochastic RSI, it has literally just been above this 80 line for a long time. And obviously the real, alt season, I don't think will start until we kind of drop below that 80 line, or at least start to see that bearish flip. But I'm not thinking that Bitcoin dominance is going to continue much longer. I'm thinking we're going to get it top out somewhere around 61%. And that's when we're going to see this alt season. Like I say, it could very well happen in the winter, spring of this coming part of the cycle. But there also could be some crazy moves. I mean, we've got way bigger players in the space with BlackRock and Coinbase and all these things that are happening outside. So I'm sure there's going to be fireworks, but I think we're nearing that big alt season that a lot of people have been hoping for. And even if you're someone who's like, what's Bitcoin going to do, and you only hold Bitcoin, I mean, we can look at this chart, and this is just something I pulled up from, obviously I'm going to take away this little squiggly line, but let me actually take away some of these too. I'm just going to leave the vertical and take away these horizontal ones. But these marked on the weekly, let me go down to the weekly time frame. These were all these bullish crosses, right, that we had. And Bitcoin, obviously, each time has been rejected in that 70K, close to 70K area. Now, we had the bullish cross here. I could drop another one. Go to vertical line here. So we had that bullish cross again happen right there. And now, if you see here on the stochastic RSI, we touched it, but we've not had a bearish cross. We're almost bouncing right off of it. So this is, in my opinion, make or break, right? Are we going to see Bitcoin break above that 60K, 70K level and actually make its run, I would assume, up into the 80s possibly 100K this winter as well. And that's why I say it could also lead to that Bitcoin dominance rising, but then also subsequently we might see that alt season happen as it tops out. But that's really what I'm seeing. And especially if you do look at the monthly, obviously, don't really pay attention to the vertical lines, but I mean, the monthly looks bullish as hell. If you're just looking at, I mean, look at this. This was the top all-time highs from the last cycle, and literally look at all this consolidation just above it. We broke back above it. We've tested it, and it just seems like the highs are going to be coming. So that's kind of what I'm seeing from a charts perspective. I don't know, what you want to add to that, what your all's thoughts are.
Well, what I would say is, this is my third cycle in crypto, but the first one as a content creator. So I'm like paying way too much attention. It was a lot easier when I was like, oh, wait, what's Bitcoin doing? Crazy. It's like doubled up. That's crazy, but this is typically, everything you're saying is sort of setting up what typically happens. I had to think back, and it was usually around Thanksgiving to Christmas where I'm telling family members, yeah, the crypto's gone crazy, and when people are asking me who otherwise didn't care about crypto, hey, are you into that crypto stuff? And this is right around where it happens. Alt season usually comes after that, which kind of lines up with everything that you're saying. And so no, there's never any guarantee that the same thing will happen again, but I don't know what else you can bet on if it's happened this way every time around that Bitcoin halving cycle. So that's what I'm kind of counting on, and that's what I've sort of built my portfolio around.
Yeah, they say history, doesn't repeat, but it often rhymes. So yeah, I'm ready for a nice rhyme right there. Bust that out for us. Let's run it up as if it's 2021, 2022. But let's see. Let me pull this chart up here. We're gonna go to CoinMarketCap and let's judge some of these coins right now. So
it's gonna be time for a new rap from you, isn't it? We gotta have a bull run.
Got one drop.
Yeah, I'm cooking. I'm cooking right now. So
can I play some guitar? Can I play some guitar on your?
We might have to collaborate.
I'll lay some down.
Yeah, so I'm cooking right now. I'm waiting for a few things to come together, and I'm gonna slowly start dropping some stuff. And then I think I need to make another like Algorand anthem as well. I love making those. So, and then, if y'all haven't checked out, make sure y'all go to my feed. We got the higher anthem. We'll talk more about higher later. And then NFTC, I just dropped a video clip from that one of my most recent drops right there, because it's NFT season. We got Coinbase Quest going on and Algorand, and then we also have Exa Markets Coin List Quest. And that's a little shield for them right now.
But by the way, guys, have you hit that like button yet on these? Because you got to give these guys some love here. So hit the like button. Let's get those likes up. And as I always say, you don't have to smash it. You can just press it gently.
There we go.
For sure. All right. So let's looking at these coins right now. We scrolling down. Bitcoin is above 67,000 as Crypto for Changes showed on those charts, up 12% in that last week. Still over $1 trillion. We love to see Bitcoin over $1 trillion. And I've been noticing that Ethereum still has been a laggard, in my opinion. It has not surpassed 3K in a long, long time. And I have a theory there. I feel like with all these layer twos dropping out, like even like base, whatnot, I really like base. I feel like it's putting some pressure on Ethereum, and it's kind of making it into a stable Ethereum. What's your thought on there?
My initial thought, especially because I just saw Vitalik post about, they're kind of like, the surge or whatever. So like this whole merge, the plurge, the surge, all this stuff, their roadmap, right, that they're talking about. In that, he says he wants Ethereum to feel like one smooth chain ecosystem and not 32 different blockchains, because that's honestly to an extent that's what's happening, right? You got Base, Arbitrum, Polygon, even Uniswap has got the Uni chain, and it's on, obviously it's part of the super chain, but it's like it's just way too confusing for even people who are in the space. I think a lot of people are fed up with it. That's why so many people, I think, have had that were very ETH centric and only bullish on ETH have left and are now with Solana. Obviously, it's kind of also the new shiny toy. It has a lot of memes, a lot of, just hype and liquidity there. But yeah, I think to an extent, ETH has kind of defragmented itself into all these chains and all these layer twos that you're starting to really you know, maybe that's too much confusion for people. Like, should I be holding ETH? Should I be holding, you know, Polygon? Should I be holding Arbitrum? You know, should I be holding all these layer 2 coins? What, you know, what's the deal? And also you still have, you know, a lot of lockups, you know, with ETH and everything that they're doing there. So I do think that contributes to the reason why ETH has not seen as much of a run maybe that Bitcoin or Solana has seen, but it is more stable, right? I mean, obviously a lot of the Solana people want to throw shade at Ethereum that they're not hitting new all-time highs and they're not doing this, but it's like they also didn't, you know, drop all the way down to almost nothing in the bear market, right? I mean, if you held ETH, you didn't drop as far, but you've also not maybe gained as much. But I think that is about to shift. And the reason I think that is because there are still the biggest players in the space using Ethereum. Sony, BlackRock, Coinbase, like you have all the money and all the people in that chain to push it. And like I said, we've not seen the real alt season. We've not seen retail getting sucked in. And I'm just going to, I've said it for many times. Where do you think retail is going to get sucked in? Especially if you're in the United States, you're probably going to open up an account through Coinbase, you know, which obviously is going to funnel you to see things that are base related, Ethereum related. Not to say you won't see Solana things, but it's going to be very centered around what Coinbase is doing in the United States. Now, as far as the world goes, obviously there, you know, you're going to get a bigger mix of a bag, but that's why I think we've seen Ethereum kind of not have the, you know, rise maybe that most people expected.
Yeah. And look at that community sentiment, 36%. Have you looked at Algorand's? It's like 90%, which is kind of mind blowing to me. But, you know, I think what's happening with Ethereum is people are kind of waking up to what, you know, I've been saying since I started making content. I started this thing because I got sick of like watching videos and people would be like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. And then you try it out yourself and like, it doesn't work. Usually a lot of those not working things are related to Ethereum. You know, it's like, cause you want to do something for $40 and it's going to cost you $20 in gas fees. And to me, it was always like, how does no one else talk about this? I was really surprised. Well, that kind of changed like maybe a year or two ago, where I started seeing a lot of bigger influencers talking about how Ethereum just seems like untenable, especially when it was at the peak of its gas fees. And I think people are figuring it out. You know, I was playing this game on Immutable X, and all the blockchain features were turned off because Ethereum gas fees were too high. And I was like, well, why are you building on Ethereum then? Build on something that works. So, you know, I take a lot of flack because, you know, I'll point out when things aren't working. And, you know, people are, you know, get mad at me for being negative. I'm like, sorry, I'm just going to say it. When it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You know, Solana keeps having failed transactions. I'm experiencing that on the Helium phone, which I actually like a lot, except for when I have to collect my mobile tokens. And sometimes I have to do it 3 days in a row because it doesn't work because it's operating on Solana rails. But yeah, so I think the market's kind of waking up to that, the fact that it isn't working, and you'd probably be doing worse, except that's just not how crypto works. It isn't based on fundamentals, but I think it is based on sentiment, and that's starting to change.
Yeah.
So what's the deal? What's the deal with the Solana phone or Helium? What's the deal with that?
Dude, it's like, okay, it's for a mobile service. It's awesome. It's like $20 a month, and you get free unlimited talk text and like supposedly 30 gigs of data, but it throttles. Like, I've never had a problem with it. I just don't even pay attention to it. And you can use whatever phone, you know, I've got an iPhone 8, so I'm just using that. You just need an unlocked phone, and and then they had a service. They had a thing too where you can map. So if you're walking, you just kind of map their network or whatever, and you get mobile tokens. And you used to be able to use the mobile tokens to pay for your monthly bill. So like the first 3 months, I didn't pay a bill at all.
Wow.
Like, I'm like, just get my phone for free. This is awesome. Now they changed it. So you got it, like they have some yearly thing, and they're supposed to be bringing the other thing back, but it hasn't come back yet. So it's still like $20 a month, but that's still like pretty cheaper phone service.
That's really cheap.
AT&T for me and my wife's like 200, so that's way cheaper.
Oh, I'll save you some money there. I'll save you some money, crypto.
Yeah, I got my bill down a little bit, but it's definitely not no $20. You know,
I just saw. You know, here's another thing it's going to add to the craziness that we're about to see in this market. Right, Coinbase International Exchange just tweeted out, "We're thrilled to announce that we are increasing leverage to 20x for perpetual futures trading, available to institutions via Coinbase International Exchange and to retail traders via Coinbase Advanced Trade. Take your trading further with 20x." I mean, we know, we've interviewed so many people in the space that are, you know,
suck that liquidity.
institutions, you know, big hedge fund type people, leverage is what props these markets up. And so if places are starting to offer more leverage and the ability to leverage up more, that's how you get these inflated, crazy numbers, because for some reason people love it. I mean, I've been looking at the charts for Bitcoin and Ethereum, and it seems every single time Bitcoin gets near that, near the ceiling of where it's been hitting the past 5 months, it's literally like people are like leveraging up like crazy. Like, let's go. They're going long there and they're trying to push it above. But it's like, I don't know. I've never been someone who likes leverage because I hate the idea of just thinking that that means the algorithm knows where you're going to lose. It's like playing at the casino in Vegas. Like the house is going to win. Like, yes, there is the chance that you get lucky. Maybe it doesn't hit your stop loss and you win. But like, I don't know. It's just that to me, playing with leverage is very dangerous, but we're seeing it. And it's growing, especially with Coinbase. So that means right there that a lot of users are going to be probably leveraging more. Possibility that we're going to see some fireworks here in the next few months.
Well, I say this, when I think about leverage, right? I think about like for Coinbase, it's earnings season, right? They trying to make some money. They want to pump their bags. I see it's more like the casinos play of like, if we can get y'all to trade more, we get more fees from y'all. We get more liquidations. We can buy our Bitcoin cheaper. And then overall, our earnings will go up. So I think that's the earnings play. I'm curious, will the U.S. be able to use it? Because it seems like everything that happens in crypto, we get excluded. Even the Coinbase Quest, I still got beef for that $20 I want,
Yeah. Well, that tweet was from Coinbase International Exchange. So I would assume we in the US are still going to be withheld from that. But degens are going to degen, right? You're going to find the ways around that, whether it's through a VPN or some other way. It's still going to get done. So I wouldn't be thinking too hard about that. But at the end of the day, we still need good regulation, right, for the U.S. to really succeed. I mean, obviously, I know we're going to talk a little bit about the political climate. It seems like Trump's got a lead that's growing. He's obviously said that he's going to fire Gary Gensler day one of his tenure, which I think would be bullish and could be a good thing. And we know that Kamala Harris, I'm pretty sure she said she would actually give him an elevated role, so he'd actually have more power.
I don't like that.
Well, let me pull up something because I don't know if I can pull it up, but
share.
Mark Cuban went on the. Let me see if I can find it. But Mark Cuban went on the All In podcast, and I have a clip, but it's way back in my feed. But Mark Cuban had a clip where he was talking about Gary Gensler, and he said the Harris team. He was asking the Harris team about Gary, and someone said, "Look around you. No one here likes Gary." So I'm a little. That makes me bullish that even if Harris did win, that she would. I don't know if that could be blowing smoke. You never know for sure, but I thought that was an interesting that they at least signaled that they weren't super thrilled with. They weren't super thrilled with Gary too.
No, Gary's got to go. Like, if crypto wants better adoption, better regulation, and a better approach, we have to get people in there who actually want to see it move forward in a positive way. He's obviously bought out, does not want to. I mean, he can't even answer the simplest of questions. It's so politically charged every time he gets interviewed in front of the people, whether it's whichever representative. It seems like he's just babbling and not actually trying to answer any questions like a true politician at this point. So
he's a scammer. But what I do notice, or correct me if I'm wrong, y'all, Gary's been in that position for like 2 administrations straight, because I know Trump had him.
I think Trump was the one who put him in, right?
Yeah. So when people were like, "Oh, Kamala," they both like.
But here's the thing though. When he first got in, even a lot of the crypto people back then were super excited about it because they knew that he had a good understanding of what crypto and blockchain was.
So they kind of Algorand too.
Exactly. I mean, obviously, everybody here knows that. But that's the thing, is everybody thought because he was, so knowledgeable, had ties to the space, was talking positively about it at MIT, boom, and then he comes out, and that's what I'm saying. I think he's bought out by the wrong people who are obviously, maybe it's Elizabeth Warren and her anti-crypto army, don't know, but there's obviously people that are pulling the strings behind him, trying to stonewall or just slow the adoption of crypto in the USA. Because right now, if you ask most people still to this day, if they have any interest in crypto, they're literally, maybe they have a Coinbase account. they're just it's just sitting there. They're not doing anything with it. Most people are not trying out DeFi or NFTs or meme coin trading, pump.fun. No, that's
let me
pure
pull something up
stuff.
while you look for this brute force frugal. This is to your point too, David, Gary Gensler and them. This is if y'all see this here.
Yeah.
What is going on where Gary Gensler and Elizabeth Warren and all the rest of them, Jamie Dimon, shout out to Jamie Dimon. I usually like what he talks about. Why aren't they talking about this right here? TD Bank executives, rampant money laundering, no one going to jail.
No one going to jail, slap on the wrist as far as fines go. But yeah, that's the thing is they want to throw all the shade and act like crypto is this, just playground for evil and bad people when it's like, okay, if before crypto, where were these bad people doing their business? Banks, cash, like literally. And so now you're attacking blockchain and crypto and Bitcoin, saying that it's this new thing. I don't think so. I think no matter what, anything that we as humans create can be good or evil, right? I truly believe that. And I think what you're just seeing here is they're just trying to, make crypto out to be the bad guy, and that it's ushering in this evil thing that we need to stop, when really it's like we already have the evil there, and it's with what is happening right now in the banking system.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, if you're going to approach like regulation this way, I mean, it's I don't know how you can have a regulatory environment that is basically completely unclear and unlegible. And even when Coinbase was being sued, they flat out said they got a Wells notice, I should say, and they're like, hey, what's what could we do to comply with crypto regulations? And Gensler and the SEC just said, like, no, we're not going to tell you. We're not going to give you that feedback. It's like, well, how are you supposed to comply with these regulations when you don't know what the regulations are? It's a bureaucratic technique to stall crypto, because that seems to be Elizabeth Warren's agenda. It's interesting to see the left now. It's interesting to see the left now, start signaling a pro crypto stance, whether you believe it or not. I don't know if I do. But yeah, I'll try to share this screen, even though you're yelling at me. See, Will?
No.
He just wrote it. He just wrote it in all caps, and he's like, "Sorry about that." That's funny. Yeah, let me see. Well, hold on. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just hit the present at the bottom. You should be able to screen share.
Okay.
Well, yeah. So when we talk about, here we go.
Kamala Harris was considering Gensler for Treasury Secretary.
Sorry about that.
I would call that bullshit.
Okay.
What's the
Have
Washington
you asked her
Reporter
about that, or
I haven't asked her about any position at all. But what I was told, and look, talking to people who are like always in the same room with her, the response to me about Gary Gensler was, "Have you heard anybody say anything positive?"
Nope.
That's intentional.
all right,
before
can
we
I get
wrap
your
here-
reaction to?
All right. So
that's good. I mean, hey, that's a good thing. No matter who gets elected, that we could see hopefully a new and better SEC chair than Gensler, obviously, because we need better regulation, not regulation by enforcement, and just this couple of the people I can't think of the other names of the people in the Senate and whatnot that are constantly against crypto, but there's a few of them. One of them's that old guy. I think he's like, I don't even know what state he's a senator of, but every time I hear him talk, he always calls us the crypto bros. It's kind of funny, but.
Well, you know who I want to just let keep trading is Nancy Pelosi, because my Pelosi portfolio is crushing.
She the greatest of all time,
bro. 60-some%. I'm like, let that lady trade, man.
Watch. Then they're gonna introduce a new tax that says if you copy Nancy Pelosi's trades, it's a 60% capital gains tax. Yeah, Pelosi tax, right?
I'll change my view then. It'll be shut it all down.
Right.
So we talking a little political. Let's finish this one out real quick. So I want to talk about this. Who is hopping in the Donald Trump coin? Let me get the correct name of it right here. The WLFI token, World Liberty Financial. Yeah. So
I gotta see what was it trading on? Is it on Ethereum? I'm guessing.
Well, I know the he has a pre-sale or whatever. You got to be like, for the US, you got to be accredited investor. International can hop into it. I think it launched about a day or so ago. So I don't know where it's trading yet. Let me know if you find it. But I think this is interesting. So Trump, people think he's pro crypto. I know he's pro money, right? So he has been selling NFTs. He's been he's dropping a DeFi platform. It looks like he got a crypto token, but does this all translate to that he's pro crypto, or is he pro trying to get some money like he usually does? What do y'all think?
I think it's both, because I mean, if he's starting his own coin, then he's definitely going to have a personal interest in seeing crypto succeed. So I think that's bullish for everybody. Now, it's hard to keep track of all these Trump tokens, because there was DJT, which I think was started by Barron. I think his son Barron started that and was working with Martin Shkreli. I hopped in on a space where they were kind of talking about that. I thought that was interesting, but yeah, I probably wouldn't touch any of them myself.
Yeah, I can't find all the ones I'm finding of WLFI are just made up ones that are meant to like kind of meme it, but nothing official. But I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think it's a smart move, just because like I just don't think the president should be launching tokens or anything of that nature. Or future president, past president, you name it. If even Barack Obama or whoever came out with a token, I just think it looks stupid, because like
we've 2 weeks before election.
Yeah, we've seen like what celebrities do with these tokens. I mean, they
scam you.
There's maybe a few celebrities who've launched a token and are actually still participating in it. Literally, I think the only one that comes to my head that probably is still promoting theirs is Iggy Azalea with Mother. I think she's still posting ass pics somewhere.
Well, hey man, someone's got to provide CoffeeZilla with his content, man.
Exactly, right. But I don't know. I'm ready for this election season to be over, but at the same time, I feel like there's still going to be some crazy fireworks to come. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. We're seeing Bitcoin and alts possibly run into the election day and whatnot. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a top around there, or at least maybe another little, spurt up. And then whoever gets decided, maybe Trump wins. Maybe that just, sends crypto into a frenzy of just excitement and all this stuff because he wins. But I wouldn't be surprised to see like a lull actually into Thanksgiving and Christmas and the beginning of the new year, until he actually, or whoever wins, actually takes office and we actually see changes maybe implemented and stuff like that. So don't let the hype maybe of this election season and the Bitcoin possibly breaking out and all starting to run get you caught up. Have some spots marked down on the chart where you're going to take profit and make sure to take those. And speaking of profit, let's kind of, each of us can kind of go through and say, with this alt season, possibly loading up sooner or later, what ecosystems are you banking the most on? What projects, tokens are you banking the most on? And where do you see the most profitability in the coming months?
Let me start here real quick. I'm going to start with Algorand. Why? And I'll tell y'all. Hear me out.
Wait. Are you putting your money in Algorand to make the most?
Let me finish. All right.
So,
all right. If y'all know, I dropped a video the other day, and it's really about stable coins, right? I'm a big fan of Algorand for the point of stable coins. I'm just scrolling through. This is some of the recent stuff they've been dropping. This has nothing to do with the stable coins. Just want to give them some love there. But my idea for Algorand is something I talked about a few years ago with them. Is like Algorand needs to be the payment processor blockchain, in my opinion. It needs to be the savings account blockchain, in my opinion. So I dropped a video that was about what I do to save some money on Algorand. I'm not talking about massive gains. I'm talking about beating what Robinhood gives me for my like 4 or 5% over there, which is solid too. The bank give you, less than 1% or 0.1%. So I'm comparing Robinhood, I'm comparing the bank, and then I'm looking at Algorand. You can get some yields from 12% all the way up to like 30-something%. So I put in some savings type money in the DeFi protocols, and then I'm making a yield there, some easy passive income. And we know there's always a risk in crypto, so I don't put all of it in there, but I do got some in there. So then I'm taking that money and I'm compounding. So that's what I'm doing right now, and that's why I said Algorand. I'm not talking about the Algo token. I'm talking about USDC and yours. That's what I'm doing right now. That's my
I feel like at least you're taking a very probably smart but very like safe approach to making gains, right? Not looking for the moonshots, just looking for steady growth and DeFi farming over time to build. And hey, that's not a bad idea. A lot of people, especially if you look at like big VCs, I would say a lot of hedge funds, a lot of these big investors in the space, that's where they're making most of their yield is
Warren
in those
Buffett,
stable pairs.
That's what he do. He buy bonds, and because I'm like, I got to pay some taxes in 5 months or something like that. I take my tax money a little bit, put that in there, and let it compound. If I had to pull it out to pay some taxes or something, I'm okay with that.
All right. So
That's
do you
my
have
play.
any, is there any, like you got any outlier, any dark horse, you know, little bet money out there on anything or no?
Oh, my betting money, I'm on base. So I'll
Yeah.
let you cover that. I'm on base.
Yeah.
I still hold algo. You know, I still hold algo,
Mhm.
but that right there, I would say is just I have algo. We'll see if it surprises me. I don't really pay attention to it, but I like algo for the stable coins. But yeah, I'll pass it to you and let you shield base.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, and I'm not even going to shill it too hard here, but just thinking about, you know, you're talking about stable coins, right? And where you could see some easy money gained there that's not too high risk, right?
Yeah.
Most every chain has something, right, that you can put it in and make some good, decent returns. I would say base is honestly maybe even a better shot than Algorand. And the only reason why is because I'm looking at 3 protocols, right? And if you actually do the, you know, your research, dive into these 3 and find the best opportunities, I bet you could actually double probably what you're earning in stables on Algorand on base. And that's using Moonwell DeFi mixed with Morpho Labs and Aerodrome right there. Though that 3, that trifecta right there, I think, and you can use it with the, you know, obviously USDC, but also the EURC, the Euro. I would say that play, there's so many plays you can make. Obviously, I'm not going to dive in and shill it ultra hard, but do your research on, like I say, Moonwell DeFi on base, Morpho Labs on base, and Aerodrome. Right there, there are some 3 really great projects, protocols where you can farm stables, you can farm. Obviously, there's, you know, more high risk, more degen style plays there too. But those are solid options. And there's actually a really good follow on Twitter, I would say. I think let me look at his ad. I think it's CB, like Coinbase Duck. Yeah. CB, capital CB duck.base.eth. So follow him. He just posted today or yesterday that he's got a really good stable play that he's going to post that's going to use all 3 of them. So he's also showed ways in the past to use all 3 of them, but those are 3 protocols outside of just holding a specific token where you can farm stables and earn money. But also, if you're farming these stables on these platforms, you're going to be earning their native tokens. And I still see massive upside for Moonwell, massive upside for Aerodrome. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Morpho Labs has like a blue or something token. I don't hold any of that one, but I would assume there's, you know, some still good upside because those 3 platforms are the leading dexes, lending platforms, and derivatives of base. And like I say, I still believe that base with Coinbase is going to make a big push in the coming months. And for me, a speculative bet obviously is higher. Let's see here. There we go. Green. The green arrow, we going up, we going higher. It's a really cool community on base. Even further, it's on Warpcast, which is base's like social media platform type thing, kind of an X version of it. But you know, it's a really cool community, right? First and foremost, they're just all about, you know, going higher in life, making better decisions, doing stuff like that. But there is a meme token with it called Higher that's got some really big, I would say hedge funds or corporations, companies behind it, you know, some big ones in the space. And it's funny because I was watching this one wallet, right? When the first bull run of it happened and it ran up high. I mean, I literally watched my like $4,000 I had in it go up to like over 100K. Took some profit, but jumped in obviously way too early because we did see like an 80-90% drawdown. But I was watching, right, and I saw these people. I mean, I'm talking unloading 600-700K near the tops, right? And I watched them. They held it all the way down to the bottom to where they watched 700K go down to like 100K, you know, maybe even less. But I'll say this, they still had 50 ETH sitting in that wallet and they had never touched it. They just started deploying it back into it, right? And we're just starting to see this next move higher. So and I think they've moved up to the second highest wallet. And if you want to know what, you know, who the group is, it's called One Confirmation. They've been pretty integral in degen, which is obviously one of the biggest meme coins on base that's just got listed on Coinbase, the first one to get listed. I think Higher is going to follow right behind it. I think they're going to, you know, I think there's some people who are probably in the ears to get that done. But that's where I see a lot of potential is in Higher. That's where I'm betting, you know, on my dark horse. But I'm also in other plays like Moonwell, Aerodrome, and stuff like that. So excited for, you know, the next coming months.
VC, wait 1 second before you go. If y'all having trouble on X, join us on YouTube. We're getting some reports even on my link over here. It might be fixed, it might not. Retweet the YouTube then if y'all having issues. But I think Well and Aerodrome, I'm definitely very much so into those. I got a little bit of Higher because I have been shielded by him. So, all right, go ahead, Frugal BC.
All right. Well, I'm going to divide up so whenever I make a portfolio video, people are always like, what about Algorand? And so I always have to explain that I'm not just buying and holding Algorand. Algorand's put to work. Now, I did the experiment. with LPs. And let me tell you, if you're not careful what coins you choose, you're going to lose more in impermanent loss than you are. No matter how high those percentages are, you can have 1,000% APY, and you can still lose. And I did, because I did the experiment. I ran it for like 7 or 8 months, and yeah, the best thing I found was USDC algo. I've also got in Tiny Man, I've got USDC algo as my main play. That's a big chunk of my Algorand, plus Lofty. I got some Lofty. I've not been super happy with that. Most of the properties I have aren't paying rent, so it didn't work out quite the way I'd hoped it would. But yeah, USDC algo, and then I got my Tiny Man airdrop, my tiny airdrop. So I thought, all right, well, this is money I didn't have before. I'll lock it up and see what happens. So then I'm getting this weekly payout of Tiny, and then I've been taking that and put it into the Tiny algo LP. So growing some stuff that way, and it's been pretty good. I'm hoping that's going to be like a little. Right now, I'm just reinvesting everything back in, but at some point, that's going to be when I go independent next year. That's going to help me with a little extra cash flow. So I'm looking forward to that. Now let's talk about my bull run portfolio. I'm going to pull that just because I'm going to go through each coin that I have and say how it's gone so far. But I think, okay, so Solana is the only. Oh wait, no, I don't have a Moonbag. I take that back. I was close.
He's like, I sold it all. I've already got mine.
Very close to a Moonbag and Solana, but not quite. But I've done pretty well. I'm up 91% on my Solana play.
There you go. Is it just Solana, or is it something on Solana? You got any meme coins, or is it just Solana? Okay,
just straight up Solana. These are all straight up when I mention them. Now Bitcoin, by the way, my average entry is 79, just because I bought back in during a dip. Otherwise, it was quite a bit lower than that originally, but still up 91%. Bitcoin, I am up.
Banger right there, though.
Yeah, Bitcoin, I'm up 185% right now.
Nice. There we go.
Yeah, so doing pretty well on that.
Like, let's eat. Hey, real quick, let me side tangent. They say you can't get no money out of Bitcoin.
What do you mean?
People say you can't get no gains. I sold most of my Bitcoin when I was up about 150%.
Yeah, that's because most people just don't like that it's you know, they don't like the slow. I feel like it's also just the entire space has built this like idea that like if it's not 100x, if it's not a 10x, I don't want anything to do with it, and it's like that's just not.
So you want me to talk about my index funds then? That's really slow and boring, but it keeps making me money. That's the bulk. Just to be clear, that's the bulk of my investment is index funds. That stuff just grows slowly and steadily every year, and not that bad. You know what? I think I'm up like 15-16% on my.
That's good money right there.
It'll be cool once we see index funds and stuff like that tokenized on chains. I know that. I think that there's already like talks of that happening on Ethereum, possibly on Base. I don't know. I know that BlackRock are making the moves, but it'll be great to see that, because that's the one thing that still, it's like I oftentimes think like, okay, if I take this money out, right, or I sell, you get a runner and you take it out, what do you put it in? Do you put it into Bitcoin and obviously risk the volatility there? Do you just put it into USDC and farm it? It'd be nice to have the option. It's like, you know what, I can pull it out, put it in an index fund, or pull it out, and do something even on the safer side.
Yeah, and that's interesting, because that's what I did the first two crypto runs. I didn't really know what I was doing. I just thought, maybe I heard some stuff that was pretty convincing. I thought, maybe I should buy some Bitcoin and Litecoin and Ethereum. So I bought some, went up like crazy, and then I started seeing some crazy behavior. So I'm like, well, that's probably going to come crashing down. I didn't know anything about the cycles, but I'm like, I'm up like 1,000% or whatever. I'm taking some profit, putting that in the index funds and forgetting about it. What I should have done, I didn't get back in until later. That was the problem. Got back in again before the last bull run, and the same thing happened. So this time I'm trying to be a little more strategic. So MetaStao, I'm up 59, almost 60% on that. PYR Gaming Project, I'm only up 5%. I was up, man, that one really pumped.
Yeah, that one did great, and then it fell.
It crashed. I actually bought a little more to get. I bought a little more to get my average entry down. Now, near protocol, I am in Moonbag territory, my friends. So it's all of the good.
Is it up to like, what's it up to? Like 4 or 5?
It's yeah, it's been hovering. It keeps touching that $5 level and comes back down. My average entry now is 422. Oh, I'm sorry, for we're talking near. No, my average entry for near is 220.
Nice.
So we're on
Oh, that's
$5.
nice.
Yeah, doing
That's
good.
nice.
146% up, and that is in Moonbag
That's the
territory.
big win.
Can't lose on that one. Mina was looking real good. That one scratched a bit, but it's still up 54%. Matic, we're just not going to talk about it.
Yeah, what happened to Matic?
I'm down 50.
They rebrand or something too?
What's that?
I think they rebranded as well.
Yeah,
Polygon?
I'm super confused. I totally
Pol-
missed that news. I don't know what happened with that. There's
Yeah,
Matic
I feel
and
like
Paul.
Yeah, I feel like the
PLL.
biggest thing, like I say, with all these L2s is the defragmentation and just and the idea that, like, you know, a lot of people think base just because, especially if you look at TVL wise, the numbers and the money has been showing that base is passing Arbitrum's passing. I mean, heck, a couple of days ago it passed Binance Smart Chain in volume.
Yep.
I mean, there is it how long until it's passing not only Ethereum mainnet but passing Solana in volume? I think you're just gonna like there's just too much hype behind base to really, I think, care about a lot of these other tokens, especially when you look at unlocks. Like most of these other big chains like Polygon, you know, Metis, all these things, they still have massive VC unlocks where they're just going to dump on you. And if you look at base, it's one of the only major chains out there where there's no token, there's no base token. Now they could launch one, but most people, they shouldn't. I don't think they should. I think they should keep it the way they have it, because right now then you have people like, okay, if I'm on base, I'm gonna keep my value, my USDC, my Bitcoin, my Ethereum, because now you can put those on base and you can farm them. And so you're having Bitcoin, you're having ETH there, and then you have the other tokens, like I said, like Aerodrome, you know, and some of those could end up becoming the main token.
My comment about base, I think it's the dream of what Vitalik wanted for regular Ethereum, because it's like base is scalable. You can really do stuff on base. And then, you know, we all talk about decentralization. I don't really care that base isn't decentralized, to be honest. I feel safe that it isn't, because we know it's affiliated with Coinbase. So I'm liking that. But yeah, Frugal, what else you got?
Yeah, well, just to touch on before I continue, yeah, a developer on Algorand told me that he didn't think any project really needed its own token. I thought that was interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway, HBAR not doing so great now, but it did pump up to 18 cents at one point. I took some profits somewhere in there. I don't know if I hit 18, so I'm up 22% on a great thing. XRP, I thought, you know what? They got the XRP army. They're pretty solid. And
XRP is this new 50-cent stable coin.
Yeah, down. It's always 53 cents every time I look at it. It's up or down, but it's still 53 cents somehow. Yeah, I'm down about 14% on that. Blur, this was my dumbest play. I'll fully admit, I thought, hey, they look like they're going to eat OpenSea's lunch. They're basically doing OpenSea without the fees. Hey, that's awesome. They're gonna take all the customers from OpenSea. So yeah, down 30%, almost 31% on that. Sui. Oh, here we go. Sui. We're going to the moon. Sui. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm really excited. The Sui is like the one utility coin that seems to also behave like a meme coin. So I've been putting a little bit more in lately, but I'm only up like 37% because
so what was your thoughts around with Sui? What was your thoughts around the recent you know, insider, you know, debacle where they got, you know, they apparently sold like 400,000 worth of Sui, or I forget the number, but
yeah, I heard something about that. I don't know. That stuff just doesn't seem to affect price, because like it's still pumping, right?
Yeah,
it's wild. And then yeah, Link. I bought into Link a little. So I bought a little more to get my average buy down, but still down 20%. But I think Link is. I like what they're doing as the underlayer of the blockchain. And going back to Sui a second, like I really like what they're doing with stuff like ZK login and some of these features where they're trying to make crypto more usable. Because man, I tried to show some like regular, you know, non-technical folks how to do stuff in crypto, and it's like the stuff that you and I take for granted. Yeah, it's baffling to them. So the easier you can make this stuff, I think the more you're going to get adoption.
Yeah, that's why the second you show someone Coinbase, right, and that, you know, your portfolio or whatever, they're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. That's the same thing I do with Robinhood or Fidelity or X. And then it's like the second you get off and you're like, but you can send it to your wallet and then you can connect to a DeFi platform. They're like, what?
Yeah, or even
no idea.
Even switch it to advanced mode, and it's like it's baffling. Yeah, I struggled with it a little when I first started using it. I mean, It's just a little disorienting until you get the hang of it. And I think sometimes the differentiator is like some of us, like we're okay, like, oh, I'll figure this out eventually. I'll just play around with it until I get it. Some people, it's like they see it and they go, nope, I'm out. I shut down.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like you go imagine you be like, man, let me send my S&P 500 to my own wallet. I'm gonna take it to my local bank, and I'm gonna farm it. Like that's basically what we're doing. On a little side note, real quick, let me give a shout out to NF Domains. They're our sponsor here. Big shout out to them, a longtime supporter of the show. And if you check this out, look at that. Recent sales right now today is happening. Get you a NF domain, non-fungible domain. Want to give them a shout out. Big shout out to them. There we go. So
great, folks. And by the way, in case you're curious, my I'm up 85%.
Ooh,
nice.
That's nice.
There you go.
That's everything, not including Algorand. Algorand's totally separate, and I have no idea. Basically, I don't
look no more.
because I just keep buying. I just keep buying for my LPs. So I'm like, and especially like today, I bought a bunch to add to my LPs, and I know that's going to increase. I don't know, 2-3x. I would have to think so. That's gonna help me out a lot. I'm pretty confident it'll do that. At least.
Yeah, I know. Looking at Algo, and even from a charting perspective, it's like if it does break out, right, and we actually do see a decent run in the alt season, I'm still, if I was in Algo and I was heavy in Algo because of the new circulating supply and where it's at and just what's going on in the space, I would be taking massive profits if it ever got close to 60 cents. 70 cents, and if somehow it gets above $1, you better sell it all. Like
Algorand could sign contracts with the NHL, the NFL, and the NBA, and the prices still go down somehow. I don't know how.
Literally,
doesn't make sense.
What's tough about Algorand is like, and I feel bad for all of us, and in this aspect, it's like people go win bull market. I'm like, bro, like this been like this bull market is everywhere. Like what Kramer said, there's a bull market somewhere. So we just talked about every coin we talked about today probably had like 2 solid bull runs. This year
in
like
2024,
all the way up to April, went back down. It's probably running again right now, but unfortunately Algorand hasn't had one. I don't know if it had one. Maybe when it
did go from 8 cents to 30 cents, maybe 35, but like that still was short-lived and not what everyone was already expecting the move up to 60-70 cents there, and it just didn't happen.
So everything else, which is very unfortunate. I still think Algorand's like the smoothest blockchain I have used. I still love all the things that are going on over there. But if I want to make some money, I told you I'm stablecoin Algorand. You know what I mean?
I still think if you look at it from a perspective of like, when I first got into the crypto space, and I compared Algorand to like mainnet Ethereum or Algorand to Bitcoin, it like you could feel it. It was smooth. It was fast, everything. But now, I mean, yes, there are trade-offs when you look at stuff like Solana or Sui or Base or whatever it is. But that feeling of when you send things and it coming there and it being safe, secured, some of those things, the gap has gotten a lot smaller. And I think that's the reason why Algorand has fell the way it's fell, is because they've, and even I saw one of the guys behind NF Domains, John, he kind of put out a piece a couple days ago just highlighting why even Algorand's push for this real world asset category and being the leader in that has still really not helped us much. It's because if you look at almost every other chain, I mean, literally look at Solana. Tell me, like, if you could think on top of your head one thing that it's doing in real world assets right now outside of Helium and mobile, like that obviously is something that that moved. But I will say this: it was not on Solana to start.
No,
there's not, but they don't care. They are literally pandering to what the crypto market wants, which is,
I call it the DraftKings of crypto.
Exactly.
You gamble there; it's a casino.
Because that's what all crypto is. And if you ask anybody out on the street, what, describe crypto in one word,
they go scam.
Well, they're either going to say scam or they're going to say, casino or gamble. It's gambling. I mean, I was literally at a wedding in Kentucky a couple of weeks ago talking to one of my nephews, and I was, I was talking, still doing crypto, still doing the show. He's like, oh yeah, I trade crypto too in stocks. He's like, it's a casino. Kids, not even, I think he's barely out of high school. He might be a senior. It's like, they know, they understand. And it's like, if you're not pandering to those things, I'm sorry, you're going to get left behind. And if you look at the you know, kind of the not even the biggest whales of Algorand, but also the people behind it, they're out here making fun of all the other chains for what's making them more popular.
Yeah,
I mean, that's literally what they're out here doing.
If it wasn't for, this is a joke. If it wasn't for Mr. Bags, Algorand be at 0.
I mean, I feel bad for people like he's still buying. I feel bad for him.
He clearly got a bag. You know, I think this is play money or something because he buys a lot of Algorand. So I want to give a shout out to Mr. Bags. He keeping the markets up. You know,
I mean, there are very, you know, the select individuals who continually are dumping money into Algorand. You know, I hope they get rewarded. I hope we see the time come where, you know, true you know, technical prowess, I guess, is seen and rewarded in this space, but it's just not now. Right now, it's still memes. It's, you know, meme coin super cycle. Where's the next 100x, 1000x? Because attention span, people, that's all they're looking at.
I got a theory too. So when I think about Algorand, because I agree, it's the best basically chain out. There's 2-3 close competitors. We all agree on that technology wise.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But I see it like this. When we look at the internet, if we take Algorand and position a blockchain as the internet, do you actually need to invest in Comcast to benefit from NVIDIA, right? Which built on top of all of this. Like, and so if Algorand's a base layer, you don't, you know, like TravelX, I can go spend $20 and then run 1 million transactions. So there isn't much of an incentive right now to actually hold a whole bunch of algos. The incentive, I think, is to use the chain, but not hold. And that's two different things.
Agreed.
Yeah, like if you're farming, if you're farming stables or if you're farming something else, it's like you're probably earning some algo if you're in governance or whatever. You're earning it, and you can use that. But at the end of the day, I agree. I would say that, you know, you have to just look at from a standpoint of each token is, you know, an Algorand reflects the usage and the attention really that you know, the chain is getting, and it's just not high. It's obviously falling. It's been falling, and you know, until something actually does shift either greater in the space or just shift within Algorand's ecosystem to, you know, try to capture some of that market share and that attention out there and hype, I think you're going to get much of the same. Like, you know, when the market runs hot, Algorand will run. It won't run as hot, right? I remember back in March, like my portfolio literally like had done the highest it had ever done before. I was all in on base, and literally at the height, I was literally like seeing people in Algorand say like, "Oh, here we go!" Like they're talking about like we're about to take off. I'm like y'all got to realize like algo ain't taking off like not like that anymore. But it's hard. It sucks too, because like we've been in this space, we've been in Algorand for over 2 years, and it kind of pains me to be that blunt about it. But at the end of the day, it's like I'm just being real. What do you?
My thing too, right? Remember we interviewed TravelX, was an amazing interview. But I'm like, if Algorand, listen, hear me now. If you can facilitate us investing into Hisape, TravelX, and whatnot, and do some type of deal there, I think a lot of us are buying.
I think TravelX is a great idea, you know, and there's obviously tons of potential. Just like, you know, there's certain things that have built on Algorand. I think Folks Finance is still a great one. Obviously, I'm not saying to invest in the Folks token. I don't, you know, that's I haven't looked at tokenomics, but I assume they're shit. But that's the thing. It's like there are companies maybe that will build on Algorand or base or whatever, and those could be. Yeah, I even saw recently. My son's waking up, so I'm going to have to get off here soon. But I even saw. I think that there's a prediction market getting launched on base soon. It's in the early stages, kind of like the poly market thing that's taken kind of the world by storm with the ability to vote in or not vote, to bet on election markets and stuff. But it's going to be the ability to bet on like IPO markets. So like betting on, I guess, either if an IPO is successful or not, or when they're going to IPO, if they're not going to IPO and stuff like that. That could be something else that's kind of cool. Just from you know, maybe it gets a lot of hype, generates, and maybe you could farm a token. I have no idea if they're going to, but you know, those are the type things that are building on a blockchain, not the blockchain itself, unless you're an Ethereum, you're a Bitcoin, you're a, you know, maybe Solana, if you want to throw it in there, something that already has enough mind share that like, you know what, people are speculating on that asset and it has the attention, has the hype. But you also have to realize when a bear market comes or when a black swan happens, something always gets sacrificed in this space. I'm still like, I know there's tons of Solana boys out there, but I still think Solana is going to be the one who falls prey to that. Just like we saw, what was it in the last one? It was Terra Luna. Like that whole collapse and everything that happened there. I don't know why Solana still just gives me those vibes.
Yeah. Well, going back to what you were saying, like the stuff that Algorand's doing, like that, to me, that's what a blockchain should be. It should be,
Yeah.
it should be a thing that you actually use. And right
Yep.
now, I think the market is more set up for speculation, for making bets. It is sort of a gambling market to some degree. And I've been studying like stock fundamentals and what really makes a stock, what kind of things you look for. And like, I thought, is there a way I can translate what I'm learning here to crypto? And frankly, no, because it's not really based on, on fundamentals at all. Sentiment and narrative seems to be the closest equivalent that I've found. And I think as the markets mature, I like to think so anyway, that one day when the markets mature, a lot of when people kind of wake up a little bit from this speculative bubble, that it will start, fundamentals will actually matter, and the things that are, it's project actually being used for real world assets, and actually things are being built on it and people will actually want to use it, will matter. And so cross your fingers, because right now that ain't how it is.
Yeah. So with that being said, Frugal BC, you want to shout out your channel or shout out anything else you would like to share with the audience before we close out?
Yeah, sure. I'm Frugal BC on YouTube. You can find me there. I take videos, about 3 to 4 videos a week. Tomorrow, I've got a live stream talking about whether Gala Games is dead and whether it's a scam. I got Lycan Warlord and Dubstep Rob, two Gala creators, coming on to wrap it up and maybe have a little debate. I don't know. It depends how we'll see how spicy that gets. I'm also at BC_Kowalski on Twitter, trying to grow my Twitter account these days and get some of those Elon bucks. So go find me there. Trying to share a lot of stuff and share a lot of clips there too. So otherwise I just want to thank these guys for having them on. These are OGs in the crypto, in the Algorand space, especially. And, we met in person at Decipher. Hope to see you guys in person someday again soon. But thanks again for having me on.
Most definitely. And to all the algo fam out there, it's all love, baby. It is all love. You muted.
I was just saying, wag me. We all gonna make it, right?
Yeah, we all gonna make it. It's all love. Again, thank y'all for tuning in. Episode 121. Hit that like button gently, right? That's how we say it. Or smash it. Yep, press it, smash it. Appreciate y'all all for tapping in. Until the next show. Peace. Y'all have a good one. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me hit the outro though before I play myself.
It's that dad brain now. Dad brain got him.
Yeah, I can't even focus. All right.
Peace.